Alright, so this is my first video. I'm hoping it goes really well. I know that it's really not super clear. This is really the only thing I have to take videos with. My phone doesn't really take great videos. Obviously neither does this. But if this goes really well and people are really interested in videos, I have no problem going out and getting something that will be clearer for you guys, like a camera or something that takes videos. So let's get started. First, I clean my face in the morning and I use Yes to Carrots. I used to use Proactiv, but it really dried out my face, and I've noticed that my face has been clearer anyway, so I kind of just changed to something a little more natural, and my face dries out really bad, and this is supposed to be nourishing, and it's been helping. And then because I use Proactiv, I did become obsessed with their green tea moisturizer. Can't really read it. So I still use this all the time because I love it. It doesn't make my face greasy. It helps. I do have to put quite a few layers on, but I'd rather have that than have it be extremely greasy. And then the next thing that I do is I use bareMinerals Prime Time. This is the foundation that I'm using right now. Not sure if it's gonna stick. I think it's been part of what's been drying out my face. So I'm really not 100% sure about it. But you're gonna wanna put this all over your face. And I even put it on my eyes, my nose, and then down my neck. Because you should be putting your makeup down your neck, only because otherwise you're gonna get that orange line right there that no one wants. And then I use Revlon Photo Ready, mainly just on my T-zone and my cheeks, because the other one that I use, it doesn't really blur my pores like I would like it to, so I use this to try and help that. So that is a lot better. Let's see. Yeah. This lovely mirror that I have. Let's see. So, okay. And then I'm gonna use, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So next thing I'm using is my bareMinerals in Fairly Light. I'm not always this shade, but right now I am, because it's winter. Let's face it. Put that over there. And we all get pretty pale. I don't really tan anymore like I used to, but anyways. Let's see. And the one thing with bareMinerals is it is very time consuming. So you spend a lot of time layering the makeup, which kind of stinks because it just takes so much time. Like, it looks great when you do it, but if you don't have the time to do it in the morning, which I don't always, then it kind of stinks because it just takes up too much of your time. You have to wake up extra early or whatever you need to do, or you end up just not wearing it the way you want it, and that's not what we want. We want to be able to look as fierce as possible no matter what. So, like 2 or 3 layers of this, because it's really thin, and you're supposed to like swirl it forever. And I always end up getting really impatient. You're not supposed to put that much on your brush, but I'm really, really impatient, so it ends up really bad for me. So once I basically have all the spots that I want, it's really hard to see. I know it's like almost too light in this area. But once I cover all that up, I use my concealer, which right now is Revlon Color Stay. It's really hard to see that, but I'm gonna put everything in the bio after the video. So what you want to do is put this under your eyes. I have really dark under eye circles naturally. It's just my genetics, and that's just how it goes. And if there's any like problem spots that you see, like pimples, which I have a couple, but for the most part my skin's pretty clear, thankfully. I know that's not how it goes for everyone, but... And I put this in like a V under my eye. You're supposed to bring it down like even further, but what I do is I put the majority of the product right under my eye, and then I drag it down in a little bit, which makes it a lot better. Because you're supposed to have it down next to your nose. Cover those spots. Can't see them anymore. And the other eye. And if you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. I'm just patting it. Patting it is going to help it stay a lot longer. And that's what you want. For the most part, I would think. And then next is going to be somewhat of a contour. I don't do a full contour, but I like to especially do like right under my cheekbones, I should say. And this is Warmth by bareMinerals. Once again, I don't know if this is what I'm going to use as far as my foundation and stuff. It might change. But what you're going to want to do is, it's kind of hard to see, but you have like your cheekbone up here. You want to go under where that, see that line right there? You want to go right under your cheekbone. And I tend to like make this face to help me see it even better. And you can see already like the difference between the two. And another thing with bareMinerals, you really have to work it into your skin. So that's one thing that I end up doing a lot. So you can already see the difference. You really don't want to go any further than like halfway through your eye. Your eye is one thing that's really good to like line up a lot of your makeup with, not gonna lie. It helps a lot. And then the other side is going to be the same, just where that natural underneath your cheekbone goes. And then I do right over my forehead, like across your hairline, and then under your chin. Then I also go down my neck a little bit to get rid of that. You don't want that orangey look at all. Alright, so see, you can already tell the difference a little bit. And some people use highlighter next. I'm going to use blush. This is Velvet Peach by bareMinerals once again. And swirl that. You want to start on the apples of your cheeks, which is like when you smile, that's your apple right there. That's quite a smile there. And you're going to go like that, and then blend it back on top of the line that you made earlier. So see, I'm going right above that. And it's going to be really hard to even see it on this video because it's so bright. But that's what you do with that. And then the other side, you're going to do the same. And see how I'm brushing it right over that line. Right there. You can kind of see it. And then I'm going to use a highlighter. This is easily one of my favorite things ever because it just makes you look like you're glowing. It's great. So you're gonna start about halfway down your eye and you're gonna just brush it right over the top of where you put the blush. And it just kind of like gives you a little bit of a glow. It's not so intense that it's like shining, but you just want it to kind of give you almost a dewy look. And then you can also go right above and in between your eyebrows, down your nose, and then over your chin. And it just really lightens up those places that we haven't touched yet. It helps a lot. And then, so that is this basic face. That's what I start with every day. I don't always do my eyes, but for this tutorial, I think everyone's really interested in me doing kind of like an eye, so I will do that for you guys. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna bring this, my handy dandy bag over here. Okay, so the next thing that I use is Urban Decay Primer Potion. You don't have to use it, but it helps your eyeshadow stay on a lot longer, and especially if you're gonna have a really long day, it's really good to use some kind of primer. But I believe the good thing with the Tyra Beauty products is that you don't necessarily need a primer for it to stay on really long. I've heard that they stay on quite a while, so the good thing is that I will be able to test that out for you and show you. So there's that. That doesn't make a difference. And then the next thing I'm going to use is the Color Tattoo 24 Hour by Maybelline, barely branded. This just gives the like the eyeshadow a little bit more pigment, because I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't show up as bright as I want it to. So that's just gonna go all over my lid, the mobile lid, not up by your eyebrow or anything like that, but just the mobile lid, what moves. We're gonna do that with the other side. So there's that, and it just really brightens it up. Lately what I've been using, as it's kind of like a mini palette, is the Covergirl palette, and it's in Go for the Golds. I use all 4 of these colors. You don't necessarily have to, but in order to make it blended out like the way I want it, I do all 4 of them. So just where you just went with the barely branded, you're gonna go over this with the gold color, and that way you'll really have that gold color stick and stay on. And that's what you want. And you're gonna just basically go over what you did before. And then I have a blending eye brush. It's kind of like just a little, it's rounded, like it's really round compared to what I just used, which is flat. Like you can tell the difference. So using my blending brush, I'm gonna use number 2 right there, and you're gonna start doing kind of like a smoky eye. So you want to make a triangle with the corner of your eye. You start there and then push it in, kind of into your crease and just above your crease. So blend that out really nicely. And I blend it up pretty far. It's gonna end up that works. And then you want to tap off your brush for any excess, because if you have too much on your brush, you're going to end up doing a lot of blending. That's why you hear me tapping it off. You're going to do the same thing with this side, where you create like a triangle with the outside edge. And you can see it. Sorry, I keep hitting the mirror off the laptop. So. And I always end up going out to fix like the sides to make sure they're even. I'm kind of really picky, but it doesn't always end up as even as I want it to. It all comes with like being able to practice it, and if you have time or whatever. So there's the start of that. Using that same brush, I'm going to use number 3. It's a little bit darker. You can tell it's going to be that one right there. A little bit in, tap it off, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go over it, but I just wouldn't blend it as far. So I'm going to do mostly within the crease here, because you want to darken it up so it'll blend out. And it just looks like an ombre of colors. And it's really pretty. And the same thing with this side. Stay as much in the crease as possible and underneath that other color, creating that same triangle shape. You can see it. And I can also post a picture later to kind of like show you guys what the after should look like. Lastly, number 4, the darkest color. I know they're kind of intimidating, they're kind of scary, but with practice, it's really helpful to use these to blend out. I like never used to use them. I was so scared of them, but now I love them. And this is gonna go right in the crease. You don't want to blend it up too much. Literally just want it in the crease. You can tell it's nice and fanned right out. Same thing, so you can see the difference. There's this side, and then you can see that side where it's really defined my eye because it's darker. And there we go. Like right over that goldish color. But you do want to blend it out. You don't want like a really dark line. You just don't want to blend up too far. You're mainly just staying blending, blending, blending in the crease here. And it really helps. Blend it right out. You see that? Yep. For some reason this eye always comes out like amazing compared to the other eye, but that's okay. It still looks pretty even. And then I'm gonna take that darkest color and go right underneath into my hair's falling up. Right underneath where my lower lash line is. It's gonna kind of create a shadow. And just blend it into the outer corner there. It does that. Makes a nice little smoky underneath. Make sure you tap it off, because otherwise you're going to have so much under your eye. You're not going to know what to do with it. It's going to be so intense. Which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But if I get too much under my eye, I look like I'm really tired or something. So there's that. And it kind of helps define that V too. You can see it right here. Like makes it really defined. So then I know this is probably everyone's favorite. I know it's one of my favorites, is the brows. So in my Maybelline the Nudes palette, I'm going to use this lighter color right over here. You can tell I use it a lot. It's the only one that you can see right through to the bottom. And I also use a eyeliner brush. Let's see. Yep. So the angled eyeliner brush. It's kind of weird, but it ends up working out really well for your brows. And so what you're gonna do is go into the beginning of your brow and just kind of like flick it up into your brow. It just defines it a little bit. I just drag it back a little bit, add a little bit more, and define your brow. I drag it like up and then this part down there. Yeah, so it really defines it. You can tell the difference already. It's slightly darker than that one. And the same with this side. So you want it like that. And it kind of just squares it off, makes it look really nice. Try not to cover up the camera so you can't see me. I drag it back, and then I'll drag it down into here. And then you can see the difference between what it used to be. It's nice and filled in. But I like this color because it doesn't make it look too dark. Sometimes, like markers, not so much markers, but like the pencils, they draw on, and I don't like that look. Some girls really do, and it works for them, and that's fantastic. But this I like because it's softer. And my eyebrows are darker than my hair, but I don't want them so dark that it's extremely intense. So then after that, to hold my eyeshadow and my eyebrows together, I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And Tyra has one of these too, and I'm pretty excited to use it because this I only use on my eyes because I feel like it really dries out my face. But I'm really excited to see how the Tyra Beauty one compares and whether it dries out my face or if I can use it all over my face instead of just my eyes. So I'm just literally going to spray over just my eyes. And yes, it scares me every single time. So I do that, and I do it before my mascara because otherwise your mascara will run really bad. You can use black liner. I'm going to use the Almay Intense Eye Color. You can't even see it. Yeah, right there. In Raisin Quartz. This is for green eyes, and the only reason I use it is because it's not so intense. And you're going to use that right on your waterline. I do the darkest in the outer corner and then sweep it in. And you're going to do the same with that eye. For this you can do a like liquid liner on the top, but I'm not going to do that today. We'll visit that again some other time, especially when I get my Oops liner. This is going to be super exciting. It's a liner that you can actually fix when you mess up, which, let's be honest, I mess up probably every day. But this is super exciting. So next is Lash Sensational by Maybelline in, I'm pretty sure it's Very Black or Black Black. Don't really know the difference between the two, if there is two. And then I curl my lashes. I have short little baby lashes that are really, really light. So I have to curl them first. Just really quick. And then, I am not an expert with mascara. It takes me so long to get mascara on the way that I want it to be. Guys, I'm like, I tilt my head all the way back so I can just see my lashes, so I can just like fan them out the way I want them to. I'm also missing some eyelashes on this side. I kind of pulled them out on accident taking my makeup off one time, and they're slowly growing back in. But once I get all the lashes covered the way I want, I kind of close my eyes while I'm applying it to help curl them even more, which is so hard with my lashes because they just don't curl at all, literally. And then the same with this side. You can do your bottom lashes too. I find that my bottom lashes clump too much when I use that. Like I do it on the bottom, so I avoid doing that. But some people really look good with it. I just can't pull it off to save my life. So if that is good for you, that's perfectly fine. If you like doing that and you like the way it looks, I'm not saying it looks bad at all. It just does not look good on me in any way, shape, or form. Okay. And tip number 1, I don't know, whatever number. If you mess up and put mascara on your upper eyelid after you've done all this work, trust me, it drives me insane, happens to me all the time. Your best friend is going to be Mr. Q-tip. So basically, I'm not even kidding, I will do it on purpose because I do this every single day. Boop. Drive you nuts, right? Let it dry. And then what you're gonna do, I'm like, you know that I know this is gonna work because otherwise after all this work, you want it to dry for sure, as much as possible. Of course I put the biggest blob. You're gonna take the Q-tip, literally wipe it right off. And for the most part, if you have any trouble past that point where you can still see it a little bit, let's be honest, that's mostly black. Like, I don't see any makeup on it. It's just the Q-tip. This is great. This is what you want. And if you find that you can kind of still see the dark color, I just go over it with some nude color from like my Nudes palette and just go over it, and it'll just disappear. You won't see it. It's great. Look, you can't even tell. It's fantastic. I might as well just even out the other side now that I've done that. So yeah, this is a look I use all the time. I didn't do any lip, but mainly because I'm going to work and I don't like wearing lipstick to work. But I do have some lip liners and stuff that I could use. I always use lip liner when I do my lips because it helps really make them look bigger. I kind of have small lips. But I won't do it today. And I wear this look all the time without lipstick at all. And I actually use, oh, it's all the way across the bed, of course. But I use just a chapstick, and that's just so they don't look all dried out. But if you guys are really interested in seeing me and how I do my lips, especially I know the picture that I have for my page has my lips done, I can show you how to do that. Just leave a comment and let me know what you think, and I can certainly do that for you guys. If you have any questions, just leave them below, and I don't mind at all helping you out. I'm also going to post a picture so you can see what the final product is. And other than that, that's it. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.